Hi Gemini, this is Kay. You're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome to the channel and welcome to your reading. Let's begin. By the way, I don't know if you know Gemini, but I do also have a Pick a Card YouTube channel. It's at Soul Seekers with an S, Soul Seekers Tarot. If you want to watch Pick a Card tarots, I do one once a week, usually posted on Sundays. Okay, well, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well, and I'm happy to be here for you guys today. Let's get busy doing your reading. Let's find out, Archangel Michael, what is the energy we're going to be talking about today? Mindfulness. Mindfulness. Okay. Needing to be mindful. Becoming mindful. Okay, let's find out what the rune wants to say. What rune wants to give up their secrets today? We have Urus. That's the same one as yesterday. Physical strength and speed, untamed potential, a time of great energy and health. Freedom, energy, action, courage, strength, tenacity, and understanding wisdom. Understanding wisdom, through mindfulness, right? You have great, so much potential, so much benefit that comes through your physical being, your emotions, and your mind, as a result of being more mindful of, like, conscious or aware of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and what kind of effect whatever it is that you're thinking and feeling has on your world. Because every one of us have our own little world that then, it interacts with other people's little worlds, right? Oh, holy smokes. Let's do the Major Arcana. Find out that. So, more mindful about your health or energy. The Magician is the card that came out, the Major Arcana card that came out. That's having all the resources that you need to manifest anything that you desire, because you become a master manifester. And through mindfulness, that's where our manifesting power comes from being conscious and aware of the way we're thinking, our beliefs, our attitudes, and our opinions, and how they affect your world, but then affects everyone else's world as well, ultimately. The Six of Wands, that is like being successful. So Gemini, you have gotten yourself into an energy that is bringing many benefits to you. The Urus, what is that symbol? Is it the bull? Let me see. Let's see if I find it in here, in this book. Yeah, it's a wild bull or a bison, like a buffalo. Yeah. So active changes, overcoming obstacles, overcoming anger and persistence, sexuality, weaknesses, wasted energy, and indecision. Well, what's on the card is more positive than what's in the book there from the other deck. So we've got some physical strength and speed. That is like from the wild animal energy. Untamed potential, like the wild animal. A time of great energy and health. Freedom, energy, action, courage, strength, tenacity, and understanding, and wisdom. Okay, through mindfulness, we become privileged to the secret, of the universe and on life as we perceive it to be. We become wise. That is the mindful, spending time interacting with yourself in mindfulness ways, meditation, yoga, introspection, spending time quietly in nature on your own, spending time in isolation like a hermit. It's really just about just connecting with your inner self for a time, pretty much doing something like that every day, to get into a routine of doing that. The more you do it and make it a part of your everyday, the more, it's hard to say, the more serious the universe responds to you, like reacts to you or believes in you or has faith in you. The more serious they are about you, because you are serious about your need to be more aware of what your surroundings are, your environment are, and basically how you're thinking, and those feelings that come as a result of the thoughts that you're creating with your mind. So when we become mindful of our thoughts, we start mediating our behaviors, because when we start seeing the types of thoughts that are going across our mind, and you know, it's like 63,000 thoughts a person on average has for every day, uses their mind for every day, and most of them are unconscious thoughts, ones that we keep regurgitating over and over and over again from one day to the next. It's just kind of like that program that runs in the background on the computer, on your computer. And so unless you change the programming, you continue to have those same regurgitations, ruminations, and so forth and so on. It's about changing what is more largely that you're unaware of, unconscious of, looking at that. Really, like, spend 10 minutes, like dedicate 10 minutes from your day today, and just sit there and observe what kind of thoughts are going through your mind. You'll notice there's a lot of thoughts about the past and fears about the future, and how someone has done you wrong in some way, or you've done something that you feel is wrong, that you should be blamed for, or whatever. But those negative thoughts, the fears are negative. Fears are negative all the time. Fears and those negative thoughts are running rampant in our mind, largely unnoticed. Okay, so let's go ahead. You're starting to become more mindful, Gemini. This is giving you a lot more strength and courage, energy as well, because when you reign in your mind, you're not spending so much of your energy, your physical energy, your mental energy, your emotional energy. You're not spending so much of it on the unconscious thoughts that, you know, even if we're not conscious of those thoughts, because we're unconscious to them, they are still taking up space. You know, they're still taking up rent for free in your head, in your mind, and it's zapping energy from you, from your cells in your physical body, from your mental energy atoms. You know, it's just like those thoughts, those reciprocating thoughts, they just keep chewing up the energy from one day that you go to bed and you rest and you regain your energy. You get up in the morning. As soon as you get up in the morning, they're there trying to suck out the energy, the life out of you, because they're not trying to do it. They're just doing it because we give them that opportunity. We give those thoughts free rein. And that's why I say, when we are, who is at the helm of your mind? Is it your ego, which is fears? Okay, fears. Or is it strength and inner power, which is spirit? Okay, so who's at the helm of your mind? The one that will give you life, or the one that will suck it from you? Okay, so what we got here: Ace of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and Queen of Cups. Let's have a look at that. Ace of Pentacles. This is a great big divine blessing of prosperity and abundance, and a couple other things. It's a great big mental, like mindset, like a refreshed mindset, a new beginning with different set of thoughts running through your mind. So it's like, it's an opportunity of you being able to swap out those thoughts that do not do you any good, they harm you in long run or short term. They harm you. They're not for your highest good. With thoughts that are, they're life affirming, and they give you strength, and they give you vitality, and they give you confidence and comfort. And this is also a card about relocating. So however way it's going to work with the rest of the reading, I have a feeling it's a brand new it's a beginning of a brand new blessing of prosperity and abundance also, but that beginning comes with the change of mind. Because if you remember, you've got the Six of Wands, which is victory and success, and the Magician. So whatever it is that you change your mind to, the divine is offering you through times of mindfulness to see your thoughts, to become aware of them, but to also realize what you can do in order for you to change the ever-revolving set of thoughts that you generally have that are unconscious. And so by doing so, by tweaking a certain belief, let's say, for example, you might believe that, let's see, I don't know, what some kind of a belief that, let's just say a belief that you have a challenging relationship with your mother, okay? And that whenever you two get together, it starts off good, and then starts off good or okay, and then the conversation leads to, why'd you do that, it's trying to make you start explaining yourself to her, which starts irritating you, explaining yourself to her, and answering questions that makes you feel as though she's being righteous with you, that she's better than you, right? And so you every time your conversation goes that way, it starts off okay, but it gets this way, and then next thing you know, you're leaving her house, or she's leaving your presence, and the two of you are mad at each other. You may not speak to each other for a couple weeks or whatever. Well, if you were to tweak the thoughts that you generally have about her, like the belief that every time I see my mom, it's always going to end in getting mad at her, she's mad at me, and I won't speak to her for 2 weeks, or she won't speak to me for 2 weeks. So you might want to tweak the way you have that belief, because when you have that belief, that's exactly what you're going to experience, unless somebody changes the trajectory of that energy, of the two of you coming together like that. And so it could be your mom. Your mom might have a moment of mindfulness where she says, you know what, every time I meet up with Annie, let's just say your name's Annie, every time I meet up with Annie, this is what's going on, and I really don't want to push her away. It's like this feels like I'm pushing her further and further away from me, that she doesn't even want to talk to me or spend any time with me, because every time we get together, we have an argument. And so she might decide to be on her best behavior the next time, which then, if you do actually take the risk to spend some time with your mom, she's going to be a little bit different than she normally would. She'd be more aware of what she's saying, how she's saying it, the tone and all that sort of stuff, so that the visit doesn't end in the two of you getting upset and, going away mad at each other and then not speaking. So that's what I'm talking about. Your mom might become more mindful about that, you might become more mindful of that, so that the next time you visit with the two of you together, it's going to be because you're slightly thinking that it's possible that we could actually have a civil conversation. Let's just not touch on anything like religion and money, or just talk on whatever topic that really gets you two worked up about, whatever it might be. Maybe you talk about one of your siblings and they keep defending your sibling, but you see your sibling in a totally different light than your mom sees your sibling. So two of you are just rubbing each other the wrong way because of the topic, the subject. subject matter. So it might be you might decide, I'm not going to talk about Sarah. Okay, that's your sibling. I'm not even going to mention Sarah next time I visit with Mom or talk to Mom on the phone. And then you'll notice that she may not bring Sarah up either. But even if she does bring up Sarah, you might say, yeah, you're right. I never thought about that about Sarah. And then like they call it a diversion. Divert the subject to something else, like right away. Redirect it to something else right away. So now you're talking about the eggs that have gone up in price to like $8 a carton kind of thing, and you're just wondering how can anyone afford that, and when will the price go back down? Well, there's the problem with the chicken flu and all this sort of stuff, and until they get that sorted out with the chickens dying, the price of eggs are going to remain high. That was for a time. I don't think it's like that now. But anyways, the point is about tweaking the way you think about something. Okay, I need to visit with my mom. I'm going to visit with my mom, and it's either talk or visit them physically. And this time I'm going to stay away from that subject, because my unconscious thought of it always ends the same way, that I'm becoming aware of now, that I'm going to say it doesn't have to end the same way all the time. It's just a matter of making a decision to not broach the topic, the subject, during the conversation, that you two could actually avoid the confrontation and conflict and actually enjoy having a visit with each other, conversation-wise. Okay, so this just an example of how you can change your mindset one thought at a time. Right? It takes time. It takes time. It's not some things that have been running unconscious, like those programs in the background. They've been running there for a reason. So you kind of have to look at them and say, what's the point of this particular, long-held belief or negative belief that I have? These patterns of negative thoughts that I have. Where did they come from? You don't really have to find out where they came from. If you want to, that's fine. The point is to actually just say, you know what, that's not a very positive thing. How am I going to create a positive life for myself and my family, if you got one and you're concerned about that, if I keep allowing that kind of negative thinking to rule me, excuse me, to dictate my well-being. Okay, so just that kind of thing. But you have everything that you need. In other words, because you become mindful, you have the wherewithal now to be able to wield your power, magical power, to manifest the experiences that you want to have in your life. For example, a more enjoyable visit with your mom. One of your experiences, right? So then we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is about great news, right? But let's see, we got the Five of Pentacles right beside it. So we've got feeling like you're a little bit out of pocket, as they say in the South. Out of pocket, left out in the cold. Everybody else is enjoying life, but you're not so much today or ever. But you have the Page of Wands with I'm feeling a bit inspired, more inspired now, because I'm making the effort to change my lot in life, to become more abundant and prosperous, because my thoughts are becoming more abundant and prosperous, more positive, right? More positive and life affirming. This allows me the ability to have brand new beginnings, like to have a new experience with my mom, right? That's that example, having a new experience with my mom. We've never really seen eye to eye all of my life, and I've always harbored these negative feelings, which are the thoughts, because thoughts and feelings come pretty much together, almost, there's just so little time between when you think something, your body reacts to it with a feeling, so that they're kind of like They come almost together. So whatever you're thinking, you're going to feel it in your body, and that's tension, stress, and maybe stomach upset. Maybe if you have, I know my daughter, when she gets stressed, she gets feeling like she's got either a bladder infection or kidney stone coming, because she's had issues with kidney stones. So right away she knows what her kidneys are doing when she starts feeling them. So she redirects herself and says, I got to stop this stressing. I got to drink lots of water and stop this stressing right now. Not in the next minute, but right now. Because I don't want to have to pass a kidney stone. I don't want to have bladder infection. That kind of thing. So she's mindful of how her body feels. And that's almost just as good as knowing what your thoughts are, because you will always know what your thoughts are by the way your body is responding in that moment, in any moment. So if you're feeling really good and kind of your body's like relaxed, and you're just like loafing around, it's peaceful and not a care in the world, maybe for a while you're saying, you know what, I must be having some good thoughts, right? Good thoughts. Okay, so what is happening here is that you're going to be inspired. Inspired to reverse the effect of feeling like you've got to, stay on the outside of a situation, stay on the outside, the peripheral of a relationship, like just standing on the peripheral of a relationship, just observing, not saying much, not interacting with that person very much, keeping your distance because you don't want to upset them or you don't want to be upset. So with your mom, you're staying on the peripheral, you're still there. I'm going to do my daughterly or son duty, and I will contact them every week like I have been. I'm going to talk to them for 5 minutes, but I'm not going to say much. I'm not going to tell them anything about my life. I'll just let them talk. And if she runs out of something to talk about with me, then I'll just say, you know what, I got to go now. So it's been nice talking to you, Mom. Bye. I've done my duty. So that's on the peripheral. That's not really intimately engaging in a relationship to make it meaningful, to give it substance, and to create that bond, right? So you might be doing that with certain relationships, people, or situations, circumstances. Doesn't have to be with people, but you're going to be reversing that. And as a result, you step into the energy of the Queen, evolved being, the Queen of Cups. One who allows herself to feel better, to feel goodness, love, right? That's what the Queen of Cups, she's the quintessential lover, because she is not only highly intuitive, but she is, and the sweetheart of the tarot deck, she's highly thought respectfully of, and adored and admired and loved, just loved. She loves unconditionally. She wears her love on her sleeve, so all people, everyone can feel that love that she harbors in her. She doesn't harbor resentment or hate. She harbors love in her. She takes care of it. She nurtures it. She harbors it, keeps it safe, right? So that's the energy that you're going to be moving into, or you are already started, Gemini. Then we have the Empress. Well, that's the highest of all the feminine energy in the deck, the Empress. Going from the Queen of Cups to the Empress, this is like loving so much that you become impregnated with life. Love, the love of life. Look at her. She looks like she's loving her life. The love of life, the love of nature, the love of just being her, love of just her own environment, love of people that she has in her life. She loves what she does, and she gives birth to new ideas, which is really new worlds. A new idea is a new world, because when you nurture a new world, you give life to a new world, you're actually bringing in something new. And it might not be completely new. It could be completely something brand new that no one's seen or done or ever experienced before. It's just could be a new way of doing something. And again, it's like the example with your mom. Let's just say it's your mom, you and your mom. You're going to give birth to, by not broaching the subject of your sister Sarah, how the kind of turd that she might be to you in your life, that she's not the same way with your mom, so your mom doesn't see her in the same way, so that whenever the two of you talk about her, it's like, because you want her to be able to understand how you feel about your sister being, a jerk to you, and her saying, no, she's not a jerk, she's your sister, you should just accept her the way she is, blah, 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 and love her anyways, and don't get upset with her. Well, if your mom, I keep doing this is your mom, but just pretend this is your mom card and this is you card. Your mom keeps saying, you're lucky you got a sister, and all this sort of stuff. And I love Sarah, and she never, if your sister Sarah was like that with your mom might actually be complaining to you about it. You see? Yeah, Sarah, she called me the other day and she wanted to borrow money from me, and I said I didn't have any. She came over and she stole the cash out of my wallet. And now I have no money to pay for my prescription medication. So it's like, I can't believe that Sarah does stuff like that. What is Sarah up to? She's complaining to you. What is Sarah up to? Does she do drugs? What's she do with the money that she stole from me? And she better not come back around again and think that she's going to steal any more money. In fact, I'm going to change the locks and I'm not giving her a key. So, and you don't have that experience at all with Sarah, and you're saying, well, I can't believe Sarah would do something like that. And you say, well, you know what, Sarah is, you might identify with Sarah's pain, something about Sarah's going through something. She might have confided in you about what she's going through right now with work or a relationship, something like that, and that she needs a little bit extra cash because she hasn't been maybe getting enough work. Maybe she works at a restaurant and has lost some shifts or something like that, so she doesn't have enough money to pay rent or pay her utility bill, and she just needs a little bit of help this month. And you're going, yeah, I'd love to help you. I'd love to help you, Sarah. I really would. I've got $5 if that's going to help, And Sarah might say, oh, don't worry about it. I'll go to Mom. And then she talks to Mom. Mom says, no, don't have any money for you. And Sarah's thinking, I bet you do. I'm going to go to the house and I'm going to see that Mom's got money. And that's what she does, right? Well, you're like acknowledging, relating with Sarah's pain, because Sarah needs her utilities to stay turned on, and you wanted to help her but you couldn't, but you didn't realize she was going to go to your mom's house and steal Mom's wallet money. So you're not sure, because Mom doesn't necessarily know for sure it was Sarah who took the money, because there might have been some person, providing a service. That air conditioning guy came in the house that day. It could have been the air conditioning guy that stole the money out of her wallet, but she's assuming it's Sarah, because Sarah came over and she had asked to have money before she came over. So right away it's Sarah. So you're like defending Sarah. Well, how do you even know it's Sarah? How could you say that about Sarah and behave that way about Sarah? So you see, there's friction between you. It doesn't matter who's defending who. It's a matter of you, because you're the one who's becoming more mindful in this reading here, Gemini. It'd be a matter of you of giving birth to a new idea, even if it's just a tweak that I'm not going to broach the subject about Sarah the next time I have a conversation with Mom, because I want to enjoy my visit with my mom. It's more important. Having the visit with my mom is more important, because my mom's not going to be around forever, and I would never want her to die during one of those times when I'm mad at her and I haven't spoken to her for a couple of weeks. So just an idea. Here's the Six of Cups. So something that's been going on for quite some time. Six of Cups with the Death card, but it's ending and it's transformation time. Major change, transformation. King of Pentacles. is you becoming more of a evolved person, because you're making decisions to walk away from arguments, walking away from the mindset of believing that every time you have a conversation with mom, it's going to end badly. You're walking away from that mindset that you had an investment in. That investment in that mindset gave you some kind of security because it made you feel like you were right. You were always right. And of course, when you think you're right about something, or if you think you're wrong about something, the universe always delivers to you whatever it is that you're thinking and feeling. So if you're thinking, and of course that feeling comes right away, that you're right about something, the universe is going to set up that whole next experience you're going to have with your mom, so that she's in that mindset that's going to deliver you that experience that you feel you're right about. You see what I'm saying? So it's important to make sure that you get yourself grounded and committed to whatever it is that you need to do. You're turning the wheel here because he's on a ship, right? He's at the helm of the ship with the flower, the pentacle, right here, right? That pentacle, the new mindset. You're allowing the new mindset to turn the wheel of your ship, to be at the helm of your ship. It's no longer the ego, your fears of, with the negative thinking, negative thoughts that are not for your highest good, right? That are going to create prosperity and abundance in your life and love. This is you, right? This is you. Being loving yourself, loving life, loving, just being more optimistic because you are having a different way of thinking. You have been made aware, mindful of the benefits of thinking differently, and you've decided that it's time to let go of the old, the Six of Cups, the past. Let go of the past and start a brand new mindset, which is a new life, your new world. Okay, with the Queen of Pentacles energy. Oh my goodness, these are just so good. The Tower, the Five of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the last one, Five of Swords. Well, we need to get more than just that one. The High Priestess and Judgment with Temperance, and that's where we're ending it, right there. Holy moly, guys. So, you got getting yourself more evolved, because the king is slightly more evolved than the queen. Don't ask me why, but it is in the tarot deck, right? Because the Emperor is the most evolved one in the tarot deck. Empress is right there, behind him. Yeah. It's a good woman that stands behind their man, right? That's the old, really ridiculous saying. But anyways, King of Pentacles. You are allowing this new mindset to be at the helm of your life now. No more, well, you're going to still have fears, okay? I wouldn't say you're not going to have fears, but you're going to be a lot quicker to let them go, to walk away from a fear, because you're going to say, Urch! You're going to be driving your car, you're going to be going, oh, I just had that thought, Urch! I'm going to stop. I'm stopping right here, right now, and I'm switching gears in my mind. And because I am not going to go down that path again, right? Because I know what that thought and that gear brought me to. The outcome, the consequences, which were always nasty, right? So, anyways, you got the Queen of Pentacles. Look at her. She's drawing on her pentacle because she is she's so pentacly, is that a word? Pentacly focused now? She's pentacly focused. Mindset, new mindset focus that's bringing her prosperity and abundance. Queen of Pentacles, she's highly abundant. You got a perfect match right here, which means you're balancing out your energies from the way you used to think. You are now thinking differently, which is now bringing this kind of energy that is a perfect match for it. Okay? Prosperity and abundance and goodness, being grounded in the truth, right? Grounded in the truth that it's your It's your way of thinking that creates your reality. Because you're thinking in the beat of your heart from the emotional response in your body is that vibration, like the pebble on the pond, rippling out from when the pebbles dropped, it ripples out. This is your heart. Your mind is energy in motion. It is when you use your mind, when it's still just slightly moving, like frequency, slight. When you're still, mindfully still in meditation. But as soon as a thought comes across your mind and you actually pay attention to it, now your mind is making more waves. And it's having an emotional response. So then these little ripples go out. Now if you really start paying attention to it or have a real emotional, emotional response to it, that is something, a high emotion like anger or something like that. Then it's big ripples. They're going out, and you got to somehow rein your mind back in to being still again. If you're trying to meditate, so you are needing to make sure that whenever you're putting out any kind of vibration from you, a frequency, that it's going to be, life affirming. If you want to have positive experiences in your life moving forward. Otherwise, the tower comes in and it reminds you that there's still some thinking that needs to be cleaned up. And there will be a time when you will have those tower moments where something comes onto your experience, into your life, right? Onto your plate, and it's like a knee-jerk reaction. It's just instantaneous from the past, trains of thought that you've had, these beliefs that we harbor, that you can't bring in less than $1,000 a month. Otherwise, you're not a very good worker. Your parents might have instilled that in you. If you don't make $1,000, at least $1,000 a month at the job, that job is no good, and you're obviously not a very good worker, right? Let's just say. Just an example, and you bring in that month $999. Okay? You're right away. You're upset. Now, see, my parents were right. I'm no good. My job's no good. Now I don't have a job that I need. I need to find another job, and I need to be a more diligent, harder, determined, and committed worker because I'm no good if I'm only bringing $999 in or less, right? So it's that kind of thing that we tell ourselves, those beliefs that are running in the background program that end up tripping us up in the tower. Again, it trips us up, but then we sit there and we think about it. The Five of Wands, regret and remorse, right? For having had a moment where we are now kind of feeling like we're back at square one, but you're not. Because you got awareness in your pocket. You've got all the resources you need in order for you to get yourself back on track right away. The Six of Wands, you'll again be successful and victorious because the Uru's rune says that you've got the strength to do that. You have the wisdom already there. It's just a matter of you tuning in, tapping in, and turning yourself on. And if that's through meditation or seeking quiet time out in nature or doing some yoga or something, then that's what you need to do, because you're giving all of this a good think, and you might be feeling regretful or remorseful of allowing your mind to go there, for allowing your mind to have these unconscious thoughts that slip by you. Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, so don't beat yourself up. That's what I'm trying to say. Instead of beating yourself up, just choose to go the other direction. With the Two of Wands, you have a choice to go the other directions. Either go back and sit in self-doubt and, to be berating yourself. Okay? That's sabotaging your efforts moving forward. Or it's you choosing to go the route of seeking some inner wisdom, inner truth and peace, right? The high priestess, seeing things for how they really are, looking through the veil and seeing that all you need to do is just recollect yourself, get yourself back into tapping into your intuition through those quiet moments where you're quieting your mind again, so the ripples are they're just doing this instead of like this, and making judgments about the judgment that comes from the divine, not a judgment from the ego. God forbid it's a judgment from the ego, because then you say, I'm really bad person because I can't control myself. I'm bad because I can't do this, can't do that, whatever. The judgment is the right judgment is that you can do this. All you have to do is make a decision to stand in that power. That power that's going to not only bring you balanced again, with temperance, balanced, mind and heart are talking to each other, they're at the same level, they're balanced. But feeling the peace and the calm that comes from that. Healing, that's what happens, is that your mind starts to heal. What I'm saying here is that healing comes around. It starts healing because you're becoming aware of, mindful of the unconscious, subconscious fears that have created those unconscious thoughts. You're becoming aware of them, that when they show up, it's not going to derail you as much the next time. It's going to happen, okay? So you're never going to escape from that fully altogether. But it gets to the point where if you continue to stay focused in mindfulness and say, you know, I got this, I've done it before, I've got this. Yeah, okay, it took me off my track for a while, but you know what, I'm okay, really, I'll just brush myself off, you know, I'll brush myself off, I'm okay, and I'm going to redirect my mind, my thoughts, right? Redirect my thoughts again, like you might have those old thoughts again where you're having a conversation with mom, and you're not broaching the subject of Sarah, but she brings Sarah up, and you're right away going, like this, how am I going to, and she says something different than she normally says, and you just couldn't help yourself. You just couldn't help you had to say, you know what, Mom, that's not right, that's wrong. She's this, she's that, because remember, you don't like Sarah, right? But you like her, but you love her, but you know, she's been a turd. So it's just something Mom says this time that gets you, you know, it kicks you in the gut, and you just go off in your mom and you say, you know what, I gotta go, bye. And you don't talk to her for 2 weeks. And that's where you've derailed yourself, right? Don't beat yourself up. Heck, you've been doing that for such a long period of time, responding to your mom in that way for such a long period of time. That's a habit. That's a habit, right? That's a way of life. To change a habit, it usually takes somewhere between 5 and 6 weeks to actually successfully change it to whatever it is you're changing it to. And in this way, you're changing it to, the habit is not to talk about Sarah and not to react to Mom when she talks about Sarah, that you're going to redirect the conversation to, what about those Blue Jays? No, not Blue Jays. It's, you know, what about those Cubs? You know, baseball or something. You know, you're going to talk about something else totally different, and it'll get your mom in on a conversation that has nothing to do with Sarah. Okay, so it's just practice. Practice makes perfect. You'll be derailed every now and again, but you're going to be reining your mind back in because you got that going on with you right now. And I'm so proud of you for doing that, because, you know, mindfulness creates happiness. And don't we all want to be happy in our lives? Is that not what the main theme of living this life is about? Is to be happy living it. So guys, don't you know, be sad or be unnerved or be whatever. Just be happy because you're going there. You got all this going on. New mindset, new inspiration, because you're feeling excited about, you know, yeah, I could have this conversation with Mom. We can bond because I'm going to think differently. I'm going to create this new habit, right? When I talk to Mom, it's going to keep you from being outside of your life with having that bonding loving relationship, trusting relationship with your mom, you're going to be turning yourself into a loving person, because you're going to be loving yourself in your life. You're going to be giving birth to new ideas as a result, putting the past behind you, healing those, death, ending, allowing the divine to put an end to those kind of thoughts that have been derailing you, so that you can change your life into being someone who's fully committed to it with that new mindset, that positive thinking mindset of I'm worth it is at the helm of my ship, my life now. Because I'm choosing to put my investment in thinking that I'm right, that whenever Mom and I get together, we just fight, that I'm right about that. I'm choosing to put that down, like taking a gun and just shooting it and saying, you're down now. That's the end of it. Sorry. It's just putting something down, right? Pardon me. That you are getting yourself into that balanced energy where you're drawing on your pentacle. So you're actually making it even more beautiful, more prosperous, more abundant. You're the creator of your life, the artist, right? You're going to slip up and derail yourself every now and again. Don't be too hard on yourself at all. Just get back on the bike and ride, right? Oh, look, she's kind of on. Oh, there's a bike there. I never even saw that, guys. Get back on the bike and ride, and make the decision to remember your new goal of creating this new habit, right? With being able to relate with your mom through conversations and stuff, or allow yourself to stay where you're at and continue to sabotage your efforts moving forward, making things slower moving. You'll still continue moving forward. It's just going to go slower, like at a snail's pace. Molasses in winter. Because the High Priestess is the one where you're checking in with, you're deciding to intuit what needs to be done for you to be a more happier, balanced person, making the final decision to say, this is the way I need to do my life now, is to let go of these investments that have not paid off for me. Okay, they haven't paid off for you, those emotional investments. Because all I want is I want to be happy. I want to be balanced and at peace. I want to have a calm and enjoyable relationship with my mom. So if it's not your mom we're talking about, which likely isn't, who knows, whatever person you have a relationship with that's challenging, or whatever thing that you're thinking about that has to do with work or your health or money, making money, that kind of thing, that can be applied. All of this can be applied to that. So I hope this was truly helpful to you. Please let me know in the comments if it does resonate with you, but please like and share. Like and subscribe too. Bye.